is the Commerce Show. Okay, top of the moment to you, Nigerians across the world. This is the Comrade Show. My name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi. Today, we want to still on the road to Nigeria 2023, and of course, with all that is happening, and with things actually taking very serious pace right now. Talking about aspirants working very hard to secure delegates and all of that. And so on the Comrade Show, we are doing our bit to continue, to make the case towards directing, Nigerians, towards the right direction that we believe strongly is the right direction. Because right now, there are so many characters on the field. And of course, we, as a nation, we have to choose, the best character or some of the best characters that we have on the field. And so that is why we have continued to make the case. Today we're going to be looking at Nyesom Wike, the governor of Rivers State. And of course, we're going to be looking at Nyesom Wike against the backdrop of, Peter, the aspiration of Peter Obi, and looking at how presidential Nyesom Wike is. And of course, our advice to Nyesom Wike, as far as this race is concerned. Because right now, many of us understand, that more than ever before in the history of Nigeria, many Nigerians now understand that we have a nation to save because our nation has gone down, very deep, almost into the abyss of no return. But there is so much still salvageable, and unless and until we take the right steps, employ the right characters and put them in positions of authority, we just hope that we will not continue to wallow in this particular, pain, that we are into right now as a nation. All that glitters is not gold. It's what we can describe the Nigerian political space right now, with so many human beings, flooding the space and all of that. But we can still pick out, a couple of persons and we'll say these ones will make the case for them. I had a chat with somebody recently. I'm going to start on this, and still the same question that is very persistent. And I told the person, you know, over the years, looking at our own political development, over the years, we always hear from politicians, they campaign. What we hear is what they say. And at the end of the day, when they are given the opportunity, very many of them, historically, even to date, they actually do the opposite of what they promised to do. So in this time, some of us, we have resolved that Nigerians will not only hear from politicians, while politicians are making their case, we that are not directly involved in the political, as aspirants and stuff like that, Nigerians should equally hear from us because we are the ones feeling the brunt of what the politicians are ditching out. We are the ones suffering, and so Nigerians must hear from us, and they must continue to hear from us. And we as the ordinary people must continue to make the case so that some people who may not be able to publicly make the case as we do, they will have a good ground to make comparisons and of course take decisions and make up their minds. To exemplify this, I'm going to start on this note. I think it was on Tuesday or so. I received, a message in my inbox, Facebook inbox. I was moved, and I'm going to share this message. It's part of the reasons why I do what I do as far as this matter is concerned. I was moved. It further, of course, consolidated the idea in my mind that what we are doing is not in vain. Somehow we are making some impact gradually. This man wrote, and I'm going to share. I think I have it here. Uh, because I'm going to make this public, I had to just what's it called? Claim the man's name, the person who wrote this message. So the name is not seen. So we can actually see the message. He said, "Hello, comrade. I have been following you since I watched your first video, and it has made me to reason differently. Thank you so much for your enlightenment philosophy on this journey towards 2023 elections." Now he said this. This is where it gets interesting. He said, "I have never voted in any election in Nigeria. I do not have a voter's card, even at age 50. But this time, I will register and mobilize also people to do the same and also vote, at least for the first time." This brother who wrote me this message, of course, I had conversations with him, after this. He's 50, as he put right there. He's never participated and all of that, but he heard some of our, broadcast, and of course, he was able to make up his mind, to be part of this process. It's exactly why we are doing what we are doing. I don't know how many people more out there. You understand what I'm saying? And that is why the last broadcast I made, I particularly appealed to everybody who was going to watch it to share. And I did say that we want at least 1,000 shares on that broadcast. Because somebody may not be connected to the commercial directly. They may be connected to you. If you believe in what we are doing and you share, somebody's going to watch it on your own, what's it called, a platform. From there, we are reaching the people. Now, people have often said that, they will write the result, they'll do this. Now, things are fast changing. And I can tell you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu did make that case that the social media is taking over. He started, illustrating with statistics. Twitter having over 2 billion, followers. YouTube having over 4 billion followers. Facebook and all of that. Asking his followers to use these tools. Because with these tools we can reach the people. And so I was very encouraged by this man who wrote me this message, and of course, I did have some interaction with him, thereafter and all of that. It's exactly why we are doing this thing, so that people can actually be, energized. People can hear from others who are not politicians, so that we can make the case properly with proper analysis. We're going to be looking at this on Wike. I'm not wasting time right now. I'm just trying to lay a foundation for this. You understand what I'm saying now? The bottom line, most people know, those, if you are watching for the first time, the bottom line is that as ordinary Nigerians who, who are feeling the brunt, feeling, the maladministration of President Muhammadu Buhari and his cronies, we equally are very strong stakeholders in this process, and that is why we intend that 2023 cannot be a gamble. We cannot make a mistake about it, and that is why we have consistently made the case that the right man right now, for this job, based on the people we can see on the feed, is Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State. And so we continue to make that argument. We continue to look at all other aspirants, on the feed. And so today we are going to be looking at Nyesom Wike. I have tried to be as meticulous as possible, to look at the man Nyesom Wike, because Nyesom Wike is a man of very many, many parts. And many of these parts making up Nyesom Wike, they tend to be conflicting, okay, and all of that. But for 2023 presidential elections, I honestly think that Nyesom Wike should channel his energy, to a different thing instead of, contesting. Because I see Nyesom Wike on the field right now as a spoiler. He's not going to get the ticket. I'm almost as sure as God is looking at me that he's not going to get the ticket. But he may actually spoil this ticket for where this ticket ought to go. And this is why I've come out public to say this. I look. Whatever I'm saying here, I mean, it's without fear of favor or without fear of contradiction, and as it were. And so everybody, we all have our rights to our opinions, and all of that. This is my own opinion on this matter, and this is my verdict on it, and this is a commercial verdict on this matter. We believe very strongly that Nyesom Wike should not be a spoiler, but rather should team up with Peter Obi to ensure that the ticket gets to Peter Obi. Peter Obi, we have explained over again, and all of that, that he is the man who is most ready to become president of Nigeria. He possesses the qualities that we require. He's got very track records that speak for him, and all of that. And of course, each time you listen to Peter Obi, he does not just, proffer solutions to the issues. He gives you data on how these solutions can actually be achieved. It's the only aspirant on the field, that is different. Whose message you listen to, whose campaign you listen to, you will feel the impact. You understand what I'm saying, and all of that. And Peter Obi is a man who answers, like I've explained this over and over again. Apart from his track record, apart from being ready, he's been there. He knows exactly what the nation is going through right now. Okay, he knows probably what the antidote would be. He's traveled, on his own personal account to different places where things are working, to observe, to study why things work, in some of these countries and all of that. And all of those knowledge is God. And where I particularly respect Peter Obi is that this man deals with the issues, okay, using proper data. He breaks it down even to the child that is unborn in Nigeria and all of that. And so when you look at such a person, is just God given right now that Nigerians cannot afford to make mistakes about. Now, you look at Peter Obi, you hardly count controversies, around Peter Obi. You see him, you already know from the way he speaks that this man is a unifier. This man is simple. I see Peter Obi as a man who is going to make governance, at the presidential level very simple for everybody. On the 17th of this month, he gave out his daughter, the daughter had Amaka, I think is her name, had a wedding. Peter Obi was there and a few dignitaries and all of that. Now, the modesty and humility that I follow the process, I observe the process, the marriage process, the modesty that embraced that marriage. It was not a wedding, that everywhere was shut down. There was so much noise about. There was this and that and that. The whole world came together. Like it was so simple. The marriage of Amaka, Peter Obi's daughter, reflected who this man is. And of course, if Nigeria, were able to make the right decision and make this man the president of Nigeria, it shows the simplicity with which this man is going to govern Nigeria. A man who was governor of Anambra State, he de-emphasized so many of those glamour, that goes with being a governor of his state. Reduce expenditure, cut down waste in the state. And when he was leaving, left something close to $100 billion in the coffers of the Anambra State, government and all of that. We've not had any such history in any state in this country. You understand what I'm saying now? Not in my Edo state, not anywhere in this country that I stand to be corrected. I think these are very humbling. I think that these are things that Nigeria as a nation should look out for. A man who will command international respect because he's been there, he knows what it is. A man who is vast enough economically to understand exactly what Nigeria needs to do now, okay, to improve the economy of the state. If the economy of the Nigerian state is in good shape, I am sure that we will not be talking, spending too much energy talking the way we are talking right now. You understand what I'm saying now? I am sure Nigerians will not be bothered too much because people can actually work and earn a decent living as much as possible. It's exactly what we want right now. I am sure agitations will be greatly reduced and all of that. So Peter Obi brings to the table a lot of what Nigeria needs today to steady the ship of the Nigerian state. Now let us zero now. Turn to Nyesom Wike. If you are there, share this broadcast. I want to enjoy. I want to appeal to you. Please On this broadcast, let us chase not less than 1,000 shares. The shares are very important. I don't count the number of people who watch. They will come when we share. You understand what I'm saying now? But let at least somebody watch this broadcast, from your own, what's it called, from your own platform, from your own group, from your own page. It's very important because we need to drive the message down to every nook and crannies of Nigeria, to everywhere. You understand what I'm saying now? Nigerians will not just have to listen to Peter Obi alone. We need to hear the analysis of others, looking at all of the aspirants on the field. We cannot afford to make the mistake. Even the Bible, those the Christians, you understand? Even the Bible, there are passages in the Bible that says that it says faith cometh by hearing and hearing by the word of God. You understand what I'm saying now? So at the end of the day, if people don't hear, they can't be faithful. If people don't hear, they can't be religious. So people who are religious, they are religious because they are hearing from religious leaders. This time, Nigerians need to hear from Nigerians, not just politicians who tell us, oh, they will do. It's what they've been saying. Oh, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do that. They won't tell you how they want to do it. They won't tell you the deficit we are into right now. They won't tell you how they are going to raise the money, the resources for us to be able to do it. The only person who gives us answer is Peter Obi, which is why many of us are very passionate about the possible candidacy of Peter Obi and of course his possible victory. And so please share this broadcast. Is very important. You understand what I'm saying now? Now I want to establish a base. Nyesom Wike is one of our own. Okay? As a Nigerian, it's one of our own. And so, but we are going to try to be as meticulous as possible to do this analysis. Like I said, I already established that Nyesom Wike should not be on this field. He's been on this field like a spoiler. Because one, Nyesom Wike has certain characteristics that are not presidential. They are not presidential, and Nyesom Wike has shown to Nigerians that he's a man who is very vindictive. And these are certain kind of characters that honestly we shouldn't even have in anybody who aspires to become a president of a nation, because the diversity of the Nigerian state is such that we need somebody who will appeal to everybody, whose posture, whose way of doing things, okay, who will have that likable character, as it were. And no, Nyesom Wike doesn't possess that. As a matter of fact, the controversies chasing Nyesom Wike, is such that it's for many of us, it's not in any way near presidential. We have to get it right and get it very right. And I'm going to give you some of these reasons. In 2020, Nyesom Wike, came out, when it was during the Edo State, election and all of that. He came out to rubbish Ganduje, who was equally rubbished by Nigerians because of the corruption, that was enveloping him at the time, where he was, taking bribe in dollars and all of that, and somehow there was some hidden cameras, showing that to the world and all of that. Nyesom Wike was very vehement, called Ganduje names and all of that in response to some of those political things and all of that. And at the time, I thought I felt Nyesom Wike, yes, he was doing the right thing because all of us condemned that and all of that. Unfortunately, Nigeria is a state where the ugly ones who are powerful, they are not punished. Otherwise, someone like Ganduje should even be a governor in his own state right now. But only recently, Nyesom Wike traveled to to meet a Ganduje. Unfortunately, well, as a matter of fact, I won't say it's unfortunate. For me, it's conflicting in that the Ganduje, as far as I know, is not a member of Nyesom Wike's party. I'm giving you some different sides of this Nyesom Wike that makes me really, really, come to this conclusion that this man shouldn't be on this field right now. It's not in his party. But he went there, okay? He went to see the governor, who is not in his own party, to seek his own support. This same governor, 2 years ago, he rubbished for corruption. And he was right doing that. Now he was heaping praises on the same governor. I think I have a video excerpt of this what I'm describing right now, and I'm going to tell you why this is very important. Because a man who who just shows a character of, you know, having different sides and can switch to anyone at his own will and all of that, wants to become a president, will really be an issue for very many of us. Okay, but let's take a look at this excerpt of his visit to Grand Duke.
I'm here now as a colleague brother, as somebody who's prepared to take over Villa in 2023. And for you to continue to pray for us. You know, you may not say it here, but you know, things are not working well. Nigeria now, things are very bad. But you are doing well here at the state level. You are doing well. If people like you are running for presidency, some of us would have withdrawn. Some of us would have withdrawn because of your performance in Kano, and we believe that people like you can, replicate what you've done here and to the government on the federal level. I thank God you are not running. Yes, I thank God you are not running, so that I will not have difficulty. And since you know that two of us are doing the same thing, it's good for you to support me. It doesn't matter their party. So I sincerely thank you, and that is why we're here today. Thank you, and God bless you.
So, my brother, you are most welcome to Kano State. Your party and all other parties were staying in peace, because this democracy, if we all belong to one party, there is no democracy. We have different political parties with different ideologies, with different views, with different strategies in governance. And that is how it should be. So you have come to see your brothers and sisters, which is good, aspiring to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, I foresee good efforts. At the end of it, you will lose, but you will be a good loser.
Now, if you watch that, Governor Wike was rubbished, seriously embarrassed, to say the least. Now, this was the same Wike, just a week or barely so before, was in Edo State and refused, or whatever may have happened. I probably don't have the details, but did not see the governor of Edo State. And a couple of days back, he was interviewed on BBC Pidgin, and the question was thrown, at him, why, you didn't see the governor of Edo State? Well, I hope there's no problem. And his response was that when he was in Edo State in 2020, he was there on a mission that he was sent by PDP to go and win the election for Edo State governor, and that he chooses where to go visit and where not to visit and all of that. This is somebody, contested to become a president of a country, publicly, giving us this picture of being very divisive. I don't think that is presidential. People who want to be president or who should be president of a country, they must be bridge builders, irrespective of whatever is happening. They must be people, who are able, to carry everybody along. People have talked much about Wike's visit to Edo State. I have shared a perspective, to that. I did share that in Benin language, just trying to ensure that we in Benin, those state people are at home with themselves. But Wike's response is not making me respond to that. I didn't want to do that at the issue. I think that, Wike has not acted very well. I think as he has acted, myopism has embraced his attitude, and it's very unfortunate. And to see that a man with this kind of character, okay, is the one who's aspiring to the highest office of the land, you cannot see the governor of Edo State, who's your party man, because, well, you didn't tell us you have any differences, but you cannot see him for whatever reason. You were able to go and see a governor of a northern state who is not even in your own political party, to talk about your aspirations, of course, to appeal for his own support and all of that. So I think there's, and I can tell you that Wike going to see Ganduje was not because he actually thought he was going to get Ganduje's support. Was because he wanted to show to Nigerians that he's a man who is a team player and all of that. Doing things only for the optics. It's just like it backfired on him and all of that. Now you would do that with somebody who's not your own party member. A governor's your own party member, and all of that. You're unable to do that with him. And even if there are issues, there will always be issues. There always are issues. You understand what I'm saying now? That is what makes life what life is. But you expect that the people that we elect, okay, they will be the number one examples. So even issues at that top level, we should see them resolve those issues in an amicable manner, in a way that they will set examples for those of us who are not aspiring or who are not in government. Now, if you guys can play so dirty, you are a governor of a state, there's another governor of a state that you are supposed to be colleagues. Now, because of political, and I can tell you, the thing that is creating problem between the governor of River, Governor Wike, and that of Edo State is the issue of delegates in Edo State. It is the issue of delegates. Wike wants to be in control of the delegates in Edo State. So they want to ensure that the governor of Edo State doesn't have a say. And the governor of Edo State wants to have a say as far as the delegates of Edo State is concerned, and all of that. And so Wike has some allies in Edo State, somewhere like Danobi and all that. So the bottom line of the issue is that Governor Baseki cannot be trusted to be loyal to Wike when the time comes. And so therefore, Wike is using his cronies in Edo State to ensure that the Edo State PDP house is divided. And when that division remains, it is to his own favor. So when Wike traveled to Edo State, he went to see the Oba Benin, which is excellent. As a matter of fact, the Benin man says, it is the eye of an animal. It is the head of an animal, you look for the eye, which is excellent. You left there. You want to meet with the delegates that you so desperately want. And as a matter of fact, I stand to be corrected, but we have it from grapevine that Wike has been pumping a lot of money into Edo State to keep servicing these delegates because of this ambition of becoming president and all of that. All of that is not bad. But what is bad is the inability for somebody who's aspiring for the highest office of the land, okay, not to be able to carry people along, not to be able to build consensus even when it is difficult. You came to Edo State, amidst some fanfare, some these were very loud and all of that. And it was like your coming to Edo State was actually, apart from every other thing, to come and oppress the sitting governor of Edo State with optics, with camera everywhere, here and there, and all of that. I thought all of that was not necessary. I thought that your Wike's visit to Edo State was a huge opportunity for Wike to show that he's a unifier. To the average Edoma, okay, we cannot run from the fact that, between the government house of Edo State and, of course, the most powerful house of Edo State, which is, the traditional institution in Edo State, talking of the palace of the Oba of Benin, we are trying to observe, what is happening. You understand? I'm trying to say, how we can, push, pressure, what's it called, the government house, to continue to be loyal to the palace of the Oba of Benin. We know that there are a few things that we know, you understand? Some people know. some of us will believe that, somebody like Wike, to show to us that is somebody who's a bridge builder, can even look into that matter and call the governor of Edo State to orders. He may look, you are my brother. We cannot you cannot do that. You understand what I'm saying now? You guys are governors, you are colleagues. You can talk to each other the way I talk to some of my friends and my colleagues and do all that. And Nigerians will respect you even for that. But you are gallivanting, boasting. You didn't go because you can only see who you want to see, and you can do this and you can do that and all of that. So, my brother, Governor Wike, please share this broadcast. Let us get 1,000 shares. If we get 1,000 shares from this broadcast or more, it will get to them. We want them to hear our message. And we want the electorate to hear our message. We want the delegates to hear our message. Now, you couldn't do that in Edo State, but you were able to do that with Ganduje in faraway north, who's not even your own party member. And yet, you are saying you want to be the governor of, the president of Nigeria. Now, zeroing down, the Oba of Benin is the most respected Oba in the universe. Is I don't know, there are no adjectives to qualify the Oba of Benin. Is the highest king in this world. Governor Wike paying a visit to the Oba of Benin is apt, very important. He recognizes that. And we expect that as a governor, who is elected and who is expected to work harmoniously with traditional, leaders. You are paying respect to our own Oba. Who is your Oba? Because by extension, Wike is from Benin, which is good. But meanwhile, a state that you are governor of, where you have total jurisdiction over as an elected governor, you can easily rubbish the traditional, rulers in that state. Because we've seen a footage, some past years where, you Governor Wike, display total lack of respect for the traditional rulers in your own state. So all these things don't work together. Politics cannot just be about optics alone, about what goes to the camera. And this is exactly some of what I see somebody like Governor Wike, does and all of that. And that does not satisfy the idea that this man is presidential enough. Now, we have so many pictures of Wike doing very well in Rivers State. I think some of those things are true. I verified some of them. But only recently, workers are protesting. What's it called? Some members of, is it NUJ or the NUT are coming out to say, man, Wike cannot be president so there are still so many issues in Rivers State and all of that, which shows that even though we see a lot of optics about this and that going on, there's so many things going on, in that same Rivers State and all of that. So at the end of the day, there is so much we can point out that are too controversial. I don't want to make reference now to the very dirty and messy fights that you have had and you are still having with, what's his name, the current minister of transport. That's talking of Amechi and all of that. And interestingly, just recently, the governor Wike came out and addressed his own commissioners and warned that he doesn't want to see anybody knows the ambition to become governor of Rivers State, because Wike is going to be leaving office next year. So he doesn't want to see anybody, any of his commissioners, aspire to become governor of Rivers State. There will be death lessons. Anybody who tries that, you understand what I'm saying, and all of that. And yet you are still governor. Nobody's restricting you, to chase an ambition of becoming president of Nigeria. The same thing you are doing at the Nigerian level, you are warning your commissioners not to try it. And the only reason why you are doing that is because you want to be the person who solely decide who the next governor of Rivers State is going to be. All of that is against the will of the people. People have a right to aspire. provided they do it within the ambit of the law. That you use your own privileged position as a governor to threaten commissioners under your administration not to aspire, I think that is below the belt. So some of this character, Wike is a man who often display a character many people regard, in our own very, very, what's it called, local parlance, we call it agbero. Some of those style, okay, personally, I admire them where they have to be necessary. Because we look at Nigerian politics, some of those ties, they are necessary to get some things done. But I can tell you, man, those ties, they are not fit for the office of the president. So the composure of somebody like Governor Nyesom Wike, as far as I am concerned, if someone like Peter Obi is not there, for instance, in the race, okay, if there's the likelihood that somebody like Wike, may be a beautiful option. But when you have somebody like Peter Obi right in the mix, I honestly think that Wike should share his presidential ambition and not be a spoiler. I honestly think that Wike right now should start, discussing with the likes of Peter Obi. And when it comes to the issue of, having a president for this country, one that is going to command, support, I do believe very strongly that Peter Obi is going to command huge support, across Nigeria. Wike has made too many enemies for himself. This is the truth of the matter. Wike has made too many enemies. Wike is not a man that is well liked. The other day he was addressing, PDP stakeholders, and he was, trying to bully them to say it is time they pay him back. All of those self-aggrandizement, being highly self-conceited, okay, it puts the entire ticket at risk. So the case we make, look, I have not come here to say Wike is a bad person. No, I don't think so. He's got his own style. But I just want to say that looking at what we have on the ground right now, the people we have on the ground right now, Wike's style is not befitting right now. You cannot bulldoze people and bulldoze your way to become a president of a nation. No. You understand what I'm saying now? So Wike has had a fight with everybody. Everybody. So the nation needs a builder. And that is what Governor, Governor Peter Obi, former Governor Peter Obi alluded to one time. We need a builder. We don't need a bully in a political sense. Because when you give this ticket to a bully in a political sense, that bully will not be able to be consensus. A governor who is malicious, who bears malice. He has people who he talks to as friends, and he has those he doesn't talk to. Who changes weather at his own, interests. You cannot see the governor of Edo State, who's your party man, whom you're supposed to be working with. You slighted the man when you travel to Edo State. Under the same condition, you went to another state barely less than 2 weeks later. A state where the governor is not even your party person, but you went to the governor to solicit support. You were loyal. You were even praising him that the man is doing well. 2 years ago, you called this man a fraud. You called him a corrupt person. What the man is, based on the video evidence we saw. Now, at your own interest now, you are heaping praises on him. That's talking of Granduje. Only for the man to now embarrass you as a way of payback for what you did 2020. So, Wike in PDP right now, aspiring to become president of Nigeria, is a huge risk. Not risk in the sense of being a spoiler to someone like Peter Obi. Because whether we like it or not, the man Wike is powerful. He's got his own support base. I honestly think that the leadership of PDP should appeal to Wike as early as possible. Wike should equally himself. He said he doesn't want consensus that will not favor him. Yeah, I mean, he insinuated that in his interview when he was interviewed on BBC, English. I mean, BBC Pidgin. I think that salvaging Nigeria today is more important than any individual's ambition. I honestly believe that what people should do now is to look at the overall interest of Nigeria first before any private interest. This is important because if we do not put Nigeria first, we are going to lose it. As a political party, as the PDP is, I honestly think that PDP need to put their house in order as far as this process is concerned. I don't want to talk about the rest, all this the Mingige and all those people, I honestly, I probably may not spend time, when the time comes. You understand what I'm saying now? But we will deal with their matter when the time comes. But it's going to be last. All those ones are just there, to spoil themselves. So for Wike, for the delegates in Edo State, the delegates all over the south, southeast, southwest, everywhere, all across Nigeria, my appeal to you, the appeal of that, feel the pulse of Nigerians right now. Every delegate should feel the pulse of. Don't just go out there because you are being given $1 million on a monthly basis by some of these aspirants. Go interview and feel the pulse of Nigerians right now. Some people, I've been having a lot of conversation with people. People have been calling me. I've been calling some others too, some leaders and all of that. Today, very many APC stalwarts, they have confessed to me that the right man for the job 2023 is Peter Obi. They cannot speak out because they are members of APC. Talking of high-ranking APC members. That if Nigerians want to be fair with ourselves, the real person that Nigerians should opt for right now is Peter Obi across all spectrum, whether it is politics or wherever. Just recently, the Northern Elders Forum, they passed a vote of no confidence on Buhari. Another group under the aegis of something Northern Youth, something, they passed a vote of no confidence on President Muhammadu Buhari. So the whole idea of saying, oh, this man is, we will not allow an Igbo person to become president. Nigerians they've just jettisoned that. We are no longer riding on that. Nigerians are not looking for somebody from, no matter where the person comes from, but somebody that will guarantee certain level of hope. We must ride on hope right now. And that hope must be built in somebody that, of course, Nigerians can trust reasonably to restore the economy, to lead from the front. Somebody who understands who we are, where we are coming from, and have a very clear idea of where we should be, given the potentials we have as a nation. Somebody who will not have time to be malicious. Somebody who will not have time to be somebody who's going to make governance as simple as possible. We can see it in the private life of Peter Obi. We saw it when he was governor of Anambra State. The entire being, the entire posture of Peter Obi is simplicity. We need that level of simplicity right now at the Aso Rock. For that, Governor Nyesom Wike, should support Peter Obi and not chase any ambition that may spoil things. He should use that aura, that is not in a bad sense, a heroic posture to push for Peter Obi. And there's a very clear impression I want to quickly correct here, because this impression taught me personally, and of course, so many hundreds of thousands of people. The idea, Wike is a man he does his things for the optics. He likes, he strategizes the camera everywhere to make big certain things. You understand what I'm saying? The idea being floated that it was Governor Wike who made the governor of Edo State to win his election is nonsense. That idea, nobody should hold that idea at all. Governor Wike did not make a Governor Obaseki win Edo State election. Not at all. If Wike was not existing, Governor Obaseki was going to win that election. Because that compromises the role I played. It compromises the role every Edo State person played. Those people saw and those that people did not see. We all played our roles. Some of the people we converted to support the governor of Edo State, many of them don't even know Governor Wike. Besides that, Governor Wike was there the previous year when Pastor Sage Zeyamu was under PDP. Governor Wike was in Edo State to campaign for him to make sure on election day as well. Why did Sage Zeyamu not win the election? So for those who are saying that, it was Wike that made the governor of Edo State to win the election, please don't even peddle or give any bite to such rumor. Wike played his role like everybody did. Nobody can come out to solely say, I made the governor of Edo State to win the election. Nobody. Because there were so many people involved. So many. So many people involved in the process. So many that people don't even get. People. Maybe I can't even go there. But when I'm not talking again, it vex me. I don't want to hear now. Say if not Wike, Obaseki will not be governor. What are you talking about? Nobody should say that anymore. Edo State governorship election 2020 was for a purpose. And it was probably for a purpose even bigger than the Obaseki himself. That election, probably took the style it did, the angle it did, just to show to the people, for once, that their voice, their votes, their support matter. And that people no longer can write results anywhere in Edo State and impose anybody on Edo State people. And that is what that came to show, which is a lot more than Governor Godwin Obaseki. And that the people will determine those that govern them. And that is exactly the same attitude we are bringing to the Nigerian state just now. To say the election 2023 will mark a huge turning point for Nigeria, because Nigerians will decide who will be their president. It will not be subject to a result written by anybody, because the age we are in right now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was talking that day. He was making reference to Twitter, making reference to Facebook, social media, YouTube, and everything. He knew what he was talking about. And that's what we are tapping into. And that's what I'm saying. If you are watching me, you believe in what we are saying, don't hesitate. Share our broadcasts. I am not asking you to follow me. Just share our broadcast. Let somebody watch, from your own profile, from your own platform. So let's push it. Nigerians will not wait to hear from only politicians alone. They will hear from us that are not directly in this politics. I've said it, I've maintained it consistently. I don't know Peter Obi from anywhere. I am not looking to know him. It's not important. What is important is that this man has displayed the character enough. The content of his character is good enough to salvage the Nigerian state today. And if we truly love that we have a country beyond 2023, that we can actually have built some hope, looking at our resilience today, and hope that beyond 2023, things may start taking shape, we must support Peter Gregory Obi. I am speaking to the delegates, wherever you are. We have heard the delegates are not in the bushes. They are not from the sky. They are human beings like you and I. This is why we need to push the narrative. So if you are equally out there, you can make the case. Pick up your phone, pick up your camera, make the case. Let the world hear. I mean, for the past days, I've been monitoring comments. And the commentaries we've been receiving, I can tell you statistically that more than 95% of the people favor Peter Obi. And today, many more people are changing their posture. Earlier I showed us, what's it called, a text of somebody 50 years old. He has never participated in any electoral process before, but he listened to our message and he changed his mind. He's already mobilizing as we speak. So please, I don't know where he watched that from. He probably may have seen that particular video from somebody's wall and he picked interest. The same way we want Nigerians to pick interest. We don't want our video to be watched only in the eastern part of Nigeria, or only in the south, or only in the southwest. We want it to go to the northern hinterland of Nigeria. To go to Kano, to go to Kaduna, to go to Zamfara, to go to Sokoto. Letting everybody know that given the state of insecurity, given the state of our weak economy currently, we need a man who will sit down and lead us from the front. Restore Nigeria, restore orderliness in this country. Direct proper economic policies and execute them on behalf of these people, putting money in the pocket of the ordinary Nigerian people, and of course creating via for wealth for this country. Peter Obi has shown he can do it. So if we have people like Nyesom, Wike running here and there, they are creating distraction. I think that they should come home and support Peter Obi so that for once we can get it right. On the what's it called? On a penultimate note, it's just so fortunate that Peter Obi is from the eastern part of Nigeria. Whether we like it or not, part of the turbulence we are facing as a nation today is the issue of non-inclusion, where certain parts of this country feel not included. So there's been huge agitations to say if we are not included, we want to go our way. And he's just from that part of that country. If Peter Obi was from a Yoruba from the West, I still will be speaking as I'm speaking right now. If he was a Northerner, I still be speaking the way I'm speaking right now. Except maybe there is somebody like him or better than him in the East. It just so happened that the man is from East. And whether we like it or not, Nigeria as a nation has been most unfair to that particular bloc. Most unfair. Real peace, my people, is not necessarily the absence of violence. It is the presence of justice. There has been no justice in this country as far as, dispensing leadership and authority is concerned in the land. It is even constitutional. There's been no balance. There's been no fairness. I honestly think that if we as a nation, we love this country, we are able to give someone like Peter Obi a chance. Apart from all the other benefits of being, a high-profile economist, a pragmatic one that can restore the economy of the country, lead Nigeria from the front, what we have equally done is to ensure that we arrest agitations in the southeast and by extension in the southwest. Because when you bring this man in, between all of us, it will be that we are at least living up to what is expected of us by nature, to at least allow somebody from the southeast become president of Nigeria. Now, more than that, not just anybody, we are giving a chance to somebody who is an erudite economist, a pragmatic, successful economist, privately and publicly, to head the affairs of the Nigerian nation. One who can galvanize the people and put them to proper usefulness. So the advantages that go with electing Peter Obi is so much. It's not because I'm talking. Go to your YouTube channel, click on Peter Obi, start following his messages, listen to him. Call people that lived in Anambra State when Peter Obi was governor of Anambra State and find out from them. And then come back and listen to what I'm saying right now and make your judgment. If we leave it like that because Peter Obi is a good man and he has distinguished himself, he may not go nowhere. And that is why his voice will get to where it will get to. Our own voices will get to where they will get to. Which is why I am doing what I'm doing right now. That's why I will continue to do what I'm doing right now. To say we cannot afford to make this mistake. I respect Governor Nyesom Wike. I think Governor Nyesom Wike is a good man, but it takes more than just being a good man to become president. There's a lot more adjuncts to it. And I don't think that Governor Nyesom Wike, has all of that put together to become a president that will appeal to everybody in this country. He doesn't have it. And I can tell you, nobody's money is going to carry them all through to the finish line. Many people are going to spend their monies. At the end of the day, they will still lose. And this is why we are saying, we cannot now stand here to say, oh, don't take anybody's money. Oh. The money they will bring to you, it is the money they have not used to construct our roads, to build our bridges, to create employment, to make our medical infrastructure proper and top-notch, to ensure that our own, the most important segment of our society, education, is in good position. So take the money, but let your conscience tell you where to vote for. As a delegate, whether in Edo State, in Delta State, in Rivers, in Kano, as a delegate under the PDP, just go about and look at the field. Feel the pulse of the people. Feel the pulse of the people. You will understand that right now, this nation yearns for what Peter Obi represents. So my people, please, if you have watched this broadcast, help share and encourage others to share. Let us get 1,000 shares from this broadcast, please, or more, so that the chance of this broadcast getting to the villages, the hinterland of the northern states will be high. Let the senators see. Let the, what's it called, the delegates see. I know some delegates. I have spoken to some delegates in Edo State, and I know what they've told me. You understand what I'm saying now? So this time we are in right now, the rain that falls on Nigeria falls on every part. The sun that beats Nigeria does not just beat those in the south alone. It beats those in the north. It beats all those in the central. The poverty that Nigeria is suffering from right now is poverty that has no tribal mark, like one of them described. Like, what's his name? Bola Ahmed Tinubu described. That poverty has no gender. That poverty does not recognize race. It's poverty both for the north and for the south. So Nigerians, I beg you, we have a future to protect. We have a nation to save. Governor Nyesom Wike, I honestly like your enthusiasm. I love your sagacity. I love your agberoism. They are all useful where they have to be, but they will not take you to the finish line. The man who possesses that character to get to the finish line, the man who understands fully. Even I do listen to Nyesom Wike, even right now that he's fighting for delegates and all of that, he has not even campaigned to tell us this is what he's going to do. He has mentioned that, oh, he will tackle insecurity, but he has not even told us how he will tackle the insecurity. So it's not a question of coming out to say, I will do this, I will do that. That's what politicians do. We're not interested in anybody telling me, I will do this, we will make lights 24 hours of the day, we will ensure that Boko Haram no longer exists, we will bring $1 to 1 naira, blah, blah, blah. We heard all that before. But none of them told us how they were going to do it. But Peter Gregory Obi tells us how it will be done. That even if he is not president, just listening to the solutions he profiled and following some of those tracks will restore this country. So why not let us just give the opportunity to the vision bearer so that he can follow these things the way he planned them out. Great Nigerians, I am not a contestant. I am a Nigerian who loves his country like very multi-millions of us. And I know that if we leave it for the politicians, we will get it wrong again. So we have to play our roles to ensuring that our nation gets it right. Please, your own role may just be to share this broadcast. If you believe in what we are doing, it may be just as simple as that. And that may not be too much. And that's why I'm appealing to you. Let's share so that we share enough to get to the people that it needs to get to. So they need to hear. So that just maybe the testimony of this brother who wrote me some days ago to say, having listened to your program, I have changed my mindset. I will now register. I will mobilize as well to ensure that I take part in the next elections. He is 50 years old. He has never been taking part. And we have millions of Nigerians like that who don't take part. Many of them even have voters' cards. They don't take part. But in this time, in this age, in this era, in this season, in this 2023, Nigerians must understand that even though you are 50, 60, 40, 20, you have never taken part before. Even though you have voters card, but you've never voted before, this time we must not let it pass us by, because that's your vote. Combined with the other person's vote and the other person's vote, they will have a role to play. So even as you are watching me, you are a delegate or you know some delegates, please, for once, let us think beyond our individualistic concerns. Let us think beyond the millions they want to come and give to us, to bribe us to vote for them. Please, let us give opportunity to whom God has prepared for this job. And that is Mr. Peter Obi. As a delegate, it will be your role to determine who the flag bearer of the PDP will be. When you people are able to make Peter Obi the presidential flag bearer in PDP, leave the rest for the rest of us. Leave the rest for the rest of us. I appeal to you. Finally, fellow Nigerians, I just want to say, for those who may want to join this race, very soon we are going to be having Zoom, some Zoom conferences here and there, part of Governance Nigerian. So we have set up a page. A Facebook group. If you are watching on Facebook, please join this group. You can Google it out. It is Nigeria People's Vanguard for the name of the group is Nigeria People's Vanguard for Peter Obi 2023. Nigeria People's Vanguard for Peter Obi 2023. The instruction right there, the link is there. Just click on the link and join this group, please, if you are watching. Just join this group so that we can be sharing ideas from this group. I know that there are a few other groups here and there. I belong to some others as well. But we set up this. Soon we're going to be calling a meeting, so that we strategize. Because this election, we have to win it from, from amongst ourselves. You understand what I'm saying now? A colleague of mine, a brother who believes very much in this vision, is already helping to set up SERS in Edo State. For us, it's a commitment. Peter Obi has to win Edo State. For those of us from Edo State, we want to make a dosage a foregone conclusion for Peter Obi. You understand what I'm saying? And so I would like a commitment from River State, from Enugu State, from Abia, from Castina, and all of that. We are not calling anybody to come and spend any money. You understand? But from what we can do, which is advocacy, that a lot of people can do, whether we are doing it in our own houses, we are doing it amongst our friends or wherever we are doing it from, bit by bit, little by little, we will put all of them together. They will amount to a block that will be irresistible, a block that cannot be defeated, a block that will guarantee the stability of the Nigerian state, a block that will transform and, of course, wipe away these long years of sorrow that we have faced under the current administration and, of course, the previous ones. I shall have a broadcast about President Goodluck Jonathan at a later date. I know that there are so many costs being sponsored right now to say, come and enter the race. But I'll just say this. Former President Goodluck Jonathan, the failure of Buhari has elevated you so much. Just keep enjoying that elevation. I will advise. Please share this broadcast incoherent. Don't even consider coming into the race at all, my brother. Because we want to enjoy the euphoria that you are enjoying right now. Ordinarily, it is the weaknesses that was your administration faced that made Nigerians decide to bring in, this set of human beings we have right now. So let's not go there because we can open a lot of canker worms and all of that. So let us, I think the abysmal failure of President Muhammad Buhari and his cronies and all of them is not making President Goodluck Jonathan become like the angel. Let's not go there. My people, Peter Obi all the way. Let everybody, the Obasanjos, the Goodluck Jonathans, everybody, let us converge and condemn the state. I am not speaking in favor or in fear of... No, not at all. What I see is a Nigeria that needs to be saved. And my interest is that the only man on the field right now who possesses that character, that preparedness to save the Nigerian state, not because I'm saying it, go and listen to him and you will make your own judgment yourself, is Peter Gregory Obi. We'll take it from there. My people, my name is Comrade Lamte Oriak. It's been a comrade show, The Road to 2023. I've discussed our bit today. Next time, we're going to discuss another aspirant on the field. We'll discuss with Nyesom Wike today. Next time, we'll discuss another aspirant on the field. At the end of the day, we'll put all our bets together. You will understand that Peter Obi is the man that we need to support. Thank you very much. Bye for now, and I'll see you again. Please don't forget to share. That is the key. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep caring because we need to save our nation. May God bless you all. Bye for now.
Are you a business owner? Do you make your own products? This is your best opportunity ever. Register your brand now with the first and largest marketplace promoting Nigerian-made products. Get access to over 17 million shoppers and customers currently in need of your products. Download on Google Play Store now to register or visit ekioja.com. Focus on creating your passion.
Comrade Show, Comrade Lamte Oriak. This is the Comrade Show.